Hi everyone, and welcome to day 10 of our 21-day yoga challenge. My name is Antoinette, and I just want to say a big thank you to Sibley Memorial Hospital for continuing their strong support of this yoga challenge. And we have so many great people on Zoom tonight that have continued their practice, and I know a lot of you on Facebook as well. So as I promised, tonight we're going to focus on our lower bodies, and we're going to get started on our mats. I'm just going to turn the lights down just a little bit so they're not blaring in our eyes. And put the camera down. There we go. And we'll admit one more person. And welcome Jessica. So we're going to start off on our backs. Your feet will be bent. And your knees will be bent. Your feet will be bent. Your knees are going to be bent. Hi, Janet. Namaste. Nice to see you on Facebook. So coming on to our backs. Tonight, I'd like us to have a block close by. I'd like us to also have a strap so that we can stretch toward the end. We will be focusing on lower body tonight. And then as the week goes on, we'll just start to do some more beginner level practices together. We'll let one more person in. So welcome here tonight. And it's so good to see everybody and get to practice together. Really, really good. Okay, just getting one more person here. Fantastic. So on our backs, let's just take a moment to settle in. I was just talking to another nurse who's on Zoom, and today was a work day for us. So it's always nice to be able to know that I get to come here onto the mat to be able to practice with you all after a work day. And so I feel honored to be a nurse and honored to be a yogi as well. On our backs, just settling in for just a moment, have the palms be up. Take the toes off the mat. I always like to start this way so you can kind of fan the toes if they happen to have been in shoes all day. And then gently place them on the floor. And now gently take the heels off the mat. As you do, feel that lower back as it kind of sinks into the mat. Maybe the pelvis slightly tilts up. And then settle the heels back down, feeling the weight of the feet on the mat. Take a good deep inhale in as you let the chest rise. And then on the exhale, slightly broadening the collarbones, letting the shoulders just settle down into the mat. Taking a moment to find your breath with gratitude as you inhale in and exhale out. Hopefully free of a mask right now. I've been wearing one all day since early this morning. Very happy to have it off of my face. We're going to start off by taking the block and right away bringing it in between our legs. So you're hugging that in. And as you hug it in, you may have a little bit of flesh there or not. And so you start to hug in toward the pelvis first, but then continue that squeeze all the way up the legs toward the knees. So you really get a strong inner thigh squeeze. And as you do, so you're squeezing the block with your inner thighs, maybe you notice that you could also then draw up pelvic floor and all the way up to abdominal if you want to or not, or just focus on the inner thigh for a minute. And now release it. Notice if you started to hold any tension in the lower back and the shoulders, just being aware of what happens as you inhale in. And as you exhale, start to squeeze the block. Really squeeze it. Start to take the hips up off the floor. As you do, pressing in with the soles of the feet, squeezing the block with the inner thigh. Exhale, come down. You can take your fingertips to your heels just to bring the heels in toward the buttocks a little bit more. If the knees don't allow you to do that, then don't go there. Again, inhaling as you bring the hips up toward the ceiling and squeezing the block on the exhale. Inhaling once more, keeping the hips high, and then exhaling as you lower. Let's add the arms just so we can stretch a little bit too. As we inhale, arms are going to come overhead. And we're going to pause here. Now we can come up maybe a little bit higher, and we'll squeeze the block with the inner thigh. Good deep inhale and exhale. Just releasing any tension, and then coming down on the breath, whichever breath you might have there. Let's inhale, rising up. Good deep inhale, and now exhale as we lower. Now as we're inhaling and rising up, squeezing the block with the inner thigh, exhaling as we lower. Inhaling as we rise, just one breath, and exhaling as we lower. Inhaling as we rise, and exhaling as we lower. Last time, inhaling, rising up, and exhaling as we lower. Let's move the block. Keep the knees bent. Take that left foot up toward the ceiling. So we're not going to go into a crunch or anything. I promise we won't be doing that. No candy canes tonight. Finding weight in that right foot, we're going to bend the right knee, right? And then we're going to, on the inhale, draw that left sole, that left foot up toward the ceiling. We're going to come up into a bridge pose, extending that left leg, and then come back down again. Inhaling as we rise up. So really make it count as you push in with the sole of that right foot. Exhale, come down. Inhale as you rise. Fullest expression. Exhale and lower. Inhaling, coming up. And exhale as you lower. Last time, pushing up. And exhale as you lower. Take that left foot, bring it down. Bending that left knee. Sole of that left foot on the mat. Right foot comes up toward the ceiling now, so you know where we're going to go. Right yourself to take that left heel toward the left buttock as much as your knee allows. Inhale, weight to that left foot as you push the sole of that right foot up toward the ceiling. Exhale, come down. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, lowering. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you lower. Inhaling, lifting, exhaling, lowering. Last time, inhaling as you lift, and exhale as you lower. Take that right foot, bring it down. Gently start to draw the knees in toward the chest. Let's give the knees a little hug. Take a little rock back and forth from side to side. Just softening a little bit. A gentle rest for a minute. And now we're going to bring the legs long. Arms are going to come overhead. Just stretch the body. One more stretch as we stretch the body long. Pressing in with the calves. Toes come up toward the ceiling. Opposite hand and opposite foot as you lift. And lower. Finding your breath. And then pause. Gently roll over onto your right side. Now you can cradle your head in your arm and let your head just be right on the mat. That left hand's going to be right in front of you. So gently start to rock slightly forward so that the chest comes down toward the floor, and that way you can find weight in that left hand just slightly, then back off. The idea here, though, is that you're bringing weight toward that left front hand so that way you're getting more resistance in the movements that we're going to create. So head can be down, cradling your head in your arm, right? Or you can come up onto your forearm. I'm going to be up just so you can hear what I'm saying. And then if you're there, I just challenge you, though, to not sink down into that shoulder, but that you root down with the elbow and forearm so that you're lifting up and really using that shoulder strength to bring your body up. Again, left hand is in front to find yourself some support, right? So you don't want to fall backwards. We want to just be leaning forward slightly. Now let's start to bring that left leg up. So we're kicking out with that left heel, left foot is flexed, and then come down. Good deep inhale, exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Good deep inhale and an exhale. It can be audible, remember, in your home studio. Coming down. Inhaling and exhaling. Pause here as you hover that left leg over that right foot. And now we're going to come forward though with the left leg, and then we're going to come backwards. So you can go back and forwards as far as you want. You could go all the way forward and then come all the way back. I don't have enough room in my house to do that. So we're going to just go forward as far as you want and then as backward as you want. I'm going to actually move up a little bit so that I can get a little bit more range of motion. See what I can do now. As you come backwards, I just encourage you to flex the buttock. So you're using buttock and hamstring, and then you come forward again. And then you come backwards. Coming forwards. So really using that left hip, left hamstring and buttock, and then coming backwards. Now, as you do too, engaging the abdominal core, as you come backwards, you notice that core starts to engage as you kick back, come forwards. And now let's stack that left foot on top of the right. Now, I don't know if you remember from last week, but we started to do inner thigh work. We can do it two ways. I'm going to show you two. So the first way is if you don't have a block, you're just going to simply cross that left leg over, and you might have a little hip stretch while you go. I did. Sole of that left foot can be on the mat. That right leg is long and the right foot is flexed and active as you stretch that right leg out. We're going to be focusing on the right inner thigh. If you have a block, then you can go this way. You start to take that left kneecap and place it on top of the block at its tallest point. Again, as you lean forward, that left leg is active, so it's not just hanging down, but it's active so that way you're making that action of that left leg. So there we are. I'm going to take the block away so that you can see the right leg a little bit more. So right foot is flexed, right leg is long, and we'll start to lift and then lower. And then lift and then lower. Again, notice what's happening in that right shoulder. Are you sinking into it, or are you rooting down with that left forearm and left elbow and then lifting up? So we do these postures so that we can start to advance our practice, so that tomorrow as we move in and out of postures, we focused on inner thigh, outer thigh, upper body, abdominals that get us deeper into the postures that we want to go into further on into the week. And so that's why I'm doing it. Also, so continuing that lift and lower as I'm talking, our knee health is so important, right? And so we use those quadricep muscles a great deal to sit, to stand, to climb stairs, right? To bend over. And so being able to access these inner thigh muscles that don't get used as often is really important for our knee health. Also for our lower back. So that's why I'm doing them. Last time as we pulse up, pause here. Now take a circle as you're painting, as if you're painting the face of a clock with that right heel. And again, finding your breath as you go. Remember, you can always take a break if it starts to get too much. And then let's go in the opposite direction. And pause. Now we're going to stack that left leg on top of the right and go back, and we're going to do this one more time together. I'm going to bring my head down just for a moment to give my neck a rest. So again, left hand is slightly in front of me. I'm going to bring that left leg up as I'm kicking out straight left leg. Now I'm going to paint the face of a clock with my left heel. And again, you can go as small or big as you want, right? Also, depending on what's happening in your hip. Did you have a hip replacement? Did you have any falls or hip issues? Maybe you just want to go small and just focus on micro movements, still accessing buttock and hamstring. Or maybe you want to go really big and then you also get a little bit of abdominal work, right? And hamstring and buttock. You really feel the motion as you make that circle. Go in the opposite direction of the way you came. And find your breath here. Sometimes as we're finding emotion, we start to have that tendency to want to hold our breath. I notice that with some of my patients when I'm teaching them. after an orthopedic surgery, right? They're holding their breath while they're trying to really concentrate on what they're doing. And so I invite them to breathe. And so that's what I'm doing with you as well. Continue that circle one more time. And then pause. Now we're going to take that left foot slightly behind us, right? So that's where that left hand comes in play. So we start to kind of sink the chest slightly down and start to take a pulse up. Now you should start feeling that left hip. If it's too much for you, remember, just take a pause and really breathe in and out, and then come back and join us. Inhaling in. Exhaling out. Last time, and we're going to bring that left leg down to meet the right. Now we're going to bend that left knee again, bring it right over. I'm going to come back up again. And then let's focus on the inner thigh of that right leg. So coming up, straight right leg, kicking out with that right heel, and then coming up and then down. Coming up and then down. I'm really feeling that left hip. So we're going to stretch after we get these postures finished. And we'll do a little figure 4, and that'll feel really good for us. Continuing that pulse. Now we're going to take that right foot slightly back and then forward. You can go as big as you want or not. Again, lifting that right foot off the mat. That's the key, couple of inches, as you take it forward and back. And the higher up you go, the more resistance you're going to have, and the deeper you're going to feel it. Right? So you go as far as feels good to you, or doesn't feel good to you, depending on what your goal is. Pausing, and now let's take that right foot and bring it down. We're going to slowly roll onto our backs for a moment. One long stretch as we reach out and extend, arms overhead. Point and flex the feet, flick the wrists, just to take a little pause here. Find your breath, and then slowly roll over onto your left side. And I'm just going to come right over onto my left side so I can continue to face you. Again, forearm or all the way down, your choice. The weight starts to go in that right hand now as we start to lean slightly forward to find a little more resistance. Inhale, right foot comes up. Exhale down. Inhaling as we lift. Exhaling as we lower. Inhaling and exhaling. Good deep inhale and exhale. Coming up, lowering. Finding that right hip. So this might just feel different to you, right? So just noting how you feel without any dialogue. How does this side feel versus the other? And finding your breath. Let's pause here, hover that right foot, make a circle with that right foot, go as big as you want or not. Again, this side might be different. Maybe you had surgery on this side. Maybe you had an injury on this side. Or maybe it just feels really tight today in your day 10 body. Let's go in the opposite direction of the way you came. Find your breath. Smile. It's Wednesday, right? Right in the middle of the week. Last time. Pause here. Right foot's going to come down, so stack it on top. And now let's take that right foot forward. So bending that right knee or right foot on a block. Active right leg as you extend that bent leg. Right? So either way, we start to straighten that left leg now and flex the left foot. Start to bring that left foot up and then down. So find your pulses. Adding layers here, you could take the navel back toward the spine so you're engaging the core as you draw that left leg up and down. And we breathe. Feeling that breath. Feeling the aliveness of our bodies. How cool is it that we can move and breathe, right? Without limitations. Or maybe a few limitations. Or maybe a lot of limitations. But we're still on our mats, wherever we arrive today. And that's a blessing. Continue that pulse. Now, start to lift that left leg up. Let's go forward and back with the left leg. So kind of doing the reverse of what we were just doing. Just mixing it up, like I always do. It's important to do that in our practices. Continue that pulse back and forth. Last time. And now stack that left leg down, right leg comes on top of the left. I'm just going to come down to give myself a break. And now we're just going to bring that right leg up. Again, we're going to take the paint the face of a clock with the heel. So go in one direction or the other. Pause here and lift. Go up to your fullest expression, slightly backwards. And then tiny pulse up and down. Finding your breath. With that pulse, you feel buttock and hamstring, hip flexor of the right side. As you're leaning forward down toward the ground, we start to engage the core as you kick back. Continuing that pulse in the breath. Now let's go forward, all the way forward, and then as back, far back as you want. Come all the way forward, and then as far back as you want. Swing it forward, and then back. Come forward, and then back. Last time, and then back. Right foot hovers over the left and then down. You should feel it now in that right hip. Let's take the right foot forward now, bending that right knee. We're going to finish off inner thigh of the left leg. Left leg is long. We're kicking out with that left heel. Start to draw that left leg up and now come forward and backwards, just like we were doing with the top leg. Inner thigh. Again, drawing that left leg up as high as you can go tonight, today, whenever you're practicing, will give you more resistance. You can even play around with bringing your head all the way down and seeing if you can lift that left leg up a little bit more to see how you feel. Now tiny pulses up and down. Let's really get that inner thigh working on the left leg, if it's not already. Another good deep inhale in, and an exhale out, and left leg comes down, right leg on top, and then slowly roll yourself over onto your back. Knees are bent, soles of the feet on the mat. Let's come into a little figure four stretch. Left foot on the mat, right foot on the mat, and left foot on the right knee. And we'll gently push that left knee away. Good deep inhale. Exhale out. Inhale as we draw the right knee up toward the chest. Take our hands through and back, taking our hands toward that right hamstring, right thigh. Starting to draw that right knee in. Circling the right ankle. We're gently going to twist over toward the right side, so taking that sole of the right foot back down on the mat. We're going to take that left knee just across the body. We'll touch down with the left toes and catch the left outer thigh, left outer kneecap. Come into a twist as we T-shape out that left arm. So as I mentioned to you in our day 9, just reach out and extend with the arm first. As you do, so that you may even hover that right arm over the mat. And notice what then happens from the pectoral muscle on the right side starting to travel up the shoulder head. So we start to kind of open up that front of the chest that might feel very tight. Then allow the arm, the shoulder to rest on the mat or on whatever surface is off of the mat. Being aware of that part of it, but also being aware of your body as it lies in this shape. Deep belly breath in and out. If it feels good to you. And then we're gently going to right the back onto the mat. Take the left foot on the mat now and take the right foot now on the left knee. Let's go over to the other side. Right hand to the right knee, pushing that right knee away from the body just a little. Breathing. Inhaling as we draw the left knee up toward the chest, threading the hands through the back of the left hamstring. Good deep breath in and out as we draw that left knee in a little bit more. Really feeling that right hip. And now left foot's going to come down and we're gently going to twist over as we touch the right toes down toward the mat. Right knee comes over toward the left side of the body and we T-shape out that left arm. Again, extending that left arm, so reaching and extending, finding length here, and then allowing that right arm to just settle down on the mat. I think I just said left arm, so your right arm as you reach out. Good deep inhale, and an exhale as you twist. Belly breath in and out. And then we'll right the back onto the mat. Knees are going to come up. And then I want you to rock and roll up to a comfortable seat, however you'd like, or you can just roll over onto your side. And then we're going to make our way into tabletop so we can all kind of find our way there. Rocking and rolling the body sometimes feels really good. A little silly, but it also feels good too. You can also take the hands down, little abdominal as you come up. And then crisscross the feet coming into Sukhasana and then roll over onto the knees. So just kind of making your way into your tabletop tonight. Starfishing the hands in front of us, our knees are hip-width distance apart. Take a circle with the hips, so again, just sensing the hips that you were just working, clockwise or counterclockwise, and then go in the opposite direction. We'll take the right foot out, splay the toes out as you push back on that right calf. Left hand is going to start reaching out and extending toward the left corner of the mat. And let's inhale, raising left arm and right leg off the mat, coming into bird dog. The neck is long, we look down toward the mat. We can gently bring that right foot over toward the right corner of the mat and sense how that feels, just kind of changing a little bit of the dynamics of reaching and extending. And we breathe here, inhaling in and exhaling out. Good deep inhale here. As we exhale, we're going to take the elbow and knee in toward one another. And now we're going to kick out, fullest expression as we reach. Bring it in. Inhale as we reach. Exhale coming in. Inhale as we reach. Exhale coming in. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling, engaging the core. Inhaling and exhaling. Last time as we inhale, pause here as we reach and extend. Let's touch down and then come back. And touch down and then come back. Touch down. Come back. Find your breath. Continue that lift and lower. When you're up in the air, pause here, reach and extend. And now bring the left hand down, right hand down, left and right knee down rather. Come up onto the knees. Let's take a little rest from the wrist. Shake out the wrist. Rise up with the arms as you inhale in. Exhale to lower. Inhaling as you lift, good deep inhale. Exhale down just the right arm as you extend that left arm. Rise up on the left side. And on the exhale, let's head over toward the right side. Jut out that left hip. Come back as we rise. Good deep inhale. Exhale, lowering the left hand. Rising up on the right side, and then heading over to the left side as you jut out that right hip. Coming back, good deep inhale, both arms come up. And exhale, fanning the hands down. Let's come back into tabletop and finish off on the other side. Taking that left foot out, we push back gently on the left calf with the left toe splayed. Take a little movement here for a moment, up and back. And now start to walk that right hand toward the right corner of the mat. And maybe you just take the left foot over toward the left corner of the mat. Inhale as we lift. Navel back toward the spine with the neck long as we inhale in. Exhale out. Inhaling deeply now. And as we exhale, let's take elbow and knee in together. And then reach and extend. So go slow and really kick out. Come in. And hug in and engage the core. And as you inhale, reaching out long. And then exhale as you bring it in. Good deep inhale. And then exhale. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling. Pause here, reach and extend, touch down. And come back. Touch down. Lift up. Touch down. Lift up. Touching down. Lifting up. Touching down. And lifting up. Touch down. Lift. Find your breath. And lift. Pause here on the lift. Good deep inhale. And as you exhale, lower. Rise up on the knees one more time. Rising up with the hands. Good deep inhale. And an exhale as we lower. Let's take the knees a little wide toward the edges of the mat and come into child's pose. Kind of a quick one. And we'll start to sink the head down toward the mat. Forearms can rest on the mat, or forearms can be off of the mat as you reach and extend. See what resonates in your body tonight, what you need. Removing some of the flesh from the abdomen as you take the navel back toward the spine, maybe being able to sink down a little bit lower. Or if you happen to have a belly, which is okay, you could just sink the belly down toward the floor as you bring the knees out wide. Breathing in and out, however you arrive tonight. And always that opportunity here in this child's pose on the exhale to engage the pelvic floor muscles. As we inhale in, we exhale and engage pelvic floor. It's just an opportunity to do a few Kegels, men and women, as we lose muscle tone in the pelvic floor as we age. We start to take the hands now and let's walk them over toward the right side. As we reach from the pinky finger, let energy travel up that left shoulder head. Let the energy then travel down the rib cage all the way down toward that left hip as you reach and extend. Again, the neck can be long as you let the head, the third eye, just rest kind of right on the floor, that area in between the eyebrows. Let's walk the hands back now. Again, we could push in with the fingertips and gently bring the buttocks back toward the heels a little bit more if our knees allow. And remember too, if the knees don't allow, you keep the hips high and you sink the heart low as you bring the arms out in front of you. And always remember too, that option that if you are practicing from a chair, you're just simply hinging the hips back and you're sinking the heart low from a standing position. We'll start to walk the hands over toward the left side of the mat now. Again, as we push in with that right pinky finger, let the energy travel up the outer arm on the right side, all the way up to the shoulder head. And then as you sink down that right elbow just a little bit, maybe you start to feel a nice lengthening along the right side body, down toward that right hip. And then let's walk the hands back over toward the midline. Just loll the head if it's on the mat, gently back and forth from side to side. And then let's come back onto tabletop and make our way up to standing in our downward facing dog. Remembering, if this is not in your practice, stay in tabletop for just a moment. We're just going to come up for a minute, then we're going to come back to tabletop so we can do a little bit of lunge. We're going to reach up with the hips if that feels good, or just stay in tabletop. In your downward facing dog. Pedaling the feet if it feels good, or if tonight you just feel like sinking the heels down and keeping the legs quiet, then go there. Gently start to rock the weight slightly forward toward forefinger and thumb. And then evenly distribute the weight in the hands so that not all the weight's dumped into the palm. Let's gently, on the inhale, let's bring that left leg, bring it up toward the ceiling if that feels good to you. Rising up. Left leg comes down. Right leg comes up. On the breath. Right leg comes down. And then let's meet back in tabletop if you were there already. We're going to gently bring that right foot forward. So if you happen to have blocks, you could use them to frame that right foot as you bring it forward in an L shape. If you don't have blocks, you can simply spider tip the fingers. So do what feels good to you tonight. If you have blocks, then that lets the torso be a little higher. You could even spider tip the fingers tips on the block and start to lift the hips, the torso up a little bit higher. Shoelace is part of that left foot is on the mat. You could even start to walk that right foot forward just slightly so that you get a deeper stretch in the front left hip. Flexing that left buttock now, so feeling strength and stability of that left leg. Let's rise the arms up on the inhale. Good deep inhale here. Reaching up and extending through the middle fingers. And then on the exhale, clasping the hands together, steeple-chasing the fingertips as we reach up and extend. Inhaling. And as we exhale, let's take the fingertips over to the right side. Feel a nice extension going down to that left kneecap. Coming back as we reach and extend. And exhale, let's revolve the hands, bring them back down toward the block or back down toward the mat. Right foot's going to come back just a little bit so that we're really L-shaping, 90-degreeing that right knee. We'll tuck the back toes under on the left side, left foot, and start to bring that left knee off the mat. Let's come into a lunge here. Slightly rock the weight up and back on that ball of the left foot. Left heel is off the mat. Good deep inhale and an exhale. We're going to do a little twisting now. So we can take that right hand down to the floor, or right hand can stay on the block. And we're going to gently draw that left hand up to 12 o'clock on the inhale. Reaching and extending, opening up the front of the chest as you lift up, rooting down with that right hand and rising with the left arm. Another good deep inhale in. And as we exhale, circling the arms over and down, we'll frame that right foot once more. And then twist again, left hand on the block or mat, and rise that right arm up. Coming into a twist. As we inhale in, exhale out. Another good deep inhale in. And an exhale, let's come back. As we frame that right foot, again, making sure that the right ankle is right underneath the right knee. You can stay here because we're going to take our hands off the block or mat, or if that doesn't feel good, just drop that left knee back down again. Again, as you flex that left buttock, so you feel the strength and stability of that back leg, to then power yourself coming all the way up with arms overhead. We rise up and breathe here and sink into that right knee maybe a little deeper if that feels okay to us. Inhaling in and exhaling out. Taking the hands out wide, inhaling. And as we exhale, we're going to take our hands together. Come out. And exhale. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhale. Inhaling. And exhaling. Last time, inhaling, reaching out. And as we exhale, lowering the hands down to the block. Left knee is going to come down to the mat. Let's switch it out. Take the right knee back. Left foot's forward, so you know where we're going to go now. Slightly bring that left foot up toward the top of the mat, or the right knee backwards enough so that way you get that front right hip stretch now. Shoelace is part of that right foot is on the mat. And just take a moment to just open up as you take the torso high, taking a look forward. Breathing, tracking that left knee toward the midline so you get a deeper stretch. Flex that right buttock now, and let's take the arms off the mat or off the blocks, coming up, inhaling. And as we exhale, clasping the hands together. This time take the knuckles on the in another direction so that way you clasp your hand differently. Reaching up with the forefingers, inhaling. And as you exhale, let's take the forefingers over toward the left side. So now we feel that extension from the fingertips down to that right kneecap maybe. As we flex that right buttock, that way we feel a little more stability in that back leg. Come back again, reaching up and extending, and exhaling, circling the arms over and down. Let's bring that left foot back, so now we're L-shaping, 90 degree, that left foot. Left knee is bent. Left ankle is right underneath the left knee. We're going to tuck the toes of that right foot under and bring that right leg up, right knee off the ground. Again, you're going to stay here if this feels okay to you, or you can keep the right knee down, your choice. You could put the blocks down on its medium height if you wanted to. We're going to lift the arms up, so taking that left hand up to 12 o'clock, right arm is down, rising up in this twist, finding your breath, reaching up and extending. Left arm is going to come down, and we'll rise the right arm up now. Reach up and extend, finding your breath. Right heel's off the mat. Right buttock is flexed. So you feel that strength and stability of the right leg as you reach up and extend with that right arm. And then the right hand's going to come down to meet the left. Again, the left ankle is right underneath that left knee. Left knee tracks toward the midline. We start to flex that right buttock one more time, and then rise the arms up. So you know where we're going to go here. A little bit differently. We're going to kind of mix it up. We're going to goal post the arms now. And gently we'll start to draw that right knee down just maybe micro inch or more. And then come back as you straighten that right leg. Bend the right knee. And then straighten the right leg. Bend the right knee. And then straighten the right leg. Now we're going to bring the elbows in toward one another, elbows and hands, and then come out. Bring the elbows and hands in, and then come out. Keep them goal posted. Draw them in, and then come out. Draw them in, and then come out. One more time, and then come out. Hands are going to come down, framing that left foot. Right knee is going to come down. Left knee is going to come down. We're going to come up to standing for just a moment and then make our way down toward the mat. Let's tuck our toes under, come back into downward facing dog. Sink the heels low, and then gently walk the feet up toward the hands. Inhale up to a half lift, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming all the way up to standing, reaching up as we inhale. Exhale, hands to prayer, right knee is going to come up. We find weight in that left foot, balancing on that left leg. Right knee is bent, using the core. Inhaling, growing taller on that left side. And then let's step back into Warrior One, rising up the arms as we inhale in. And on the exhale, taking the hands down beside us, clasping the hands behind us if that feels good, right? So just sending the hands just below the sacrum, starting to draw the elbows in toward one another. So we're opening up the front of the chest. Now you can stay here, or we can gently start to dip low, coming into Humble Warrior, keeping the hands clasped. Finding our breath here. Bowing with gratitude, Coming back up again, keeping the hands clasped, unclasping the hands, shaking out the arms, rising up. Both arms come up as we inhale. Exhale, hands to prayer, top of mat. Good deep inhale here. Exhale, Tadasana. Let's go over and do that on the other side. Might feel really good as we broaden the collarbones together. Inhale, rising the arms up. Exhale, hands to prayer, right foot, weight in the right foot, drawing that left knee up. Inhaling, growing taller on the right side body. And as we exhale, step back to warrior one. Rise up with the arms, inhaling. Exhale, arms lower. Again, clasp the hands in the opposite direction of the way that you did earlier. And start to open up the front of the chest as you bend into that right knee now, if it feels okay. As you flex that left buttock so you feel strength and stability of that back leg, then start to hinge forward as you come toward that right knee. Humble warrior. Keeping the hands clasped. Inhaling in. Exhaling out. Coming back up on the inhale. Unclasping the hands. Just shaking out the arms. Inhaling with arms up. Good deep inhale. And as we exhale, left foot meets the right, hands to prayer. We're going to make our way down to the mat as we inhale in. And exhale, Tadasana. Inhaling as we rise up, good deep inhale. And let's exhale as we forward fold. I promised you a stretch. Inhaling up to a half lift. Exhaling, let's come back to the mat. Buttocks to the floor. And make our way all the way down to the mat. Back on the mat, knees are bent. Let's take our left leg long, gently hug that right knee in toward the chest. Take a moment gently to windshield wiper the knee over to the right side and then the left. Find your way. Gently start to windshield wiper the knee all the way over to the left now. Catching the outer edge of that right knee with your left hand and T-shaping out that right arm. Reach out with that right arm. I can't stress it enough because I've just really found kind of this light bulb moment of really opening up the chest in this way by reaching and extending and then allowing some release. See how you feel. Maybe it resonates or maybe it doesn't. But just give it a try. Good deep belly breath in and out. And then we'll come back with that right knee and switch it out. Take the left knee in, extend the right leg long. Windshield wiper that left knee across the body and back and forth just a minute. Just kind of finding some play here as you internally and externally rotate the left knee. And then bringing that left knee all the way across to the right side now. Really extending and reaching with that left hand to start, and then allowing that left arm to rest on the mat. Belly breath in and out. Good deep belly breath in and out. And now take that left knee back in, right knee back in. Let's do a quick happy laughing baby as we catch the soles of the feet, sending the knees down toward the armpits, remembering that if this isn't possible for you, just taking the strap across the soles of the feet and starting to sink the knees down toward the armpits. That way everybody can come into their version of happy laughing baby. We can take a gentle rock back and forth from side to side in this posture. Catching the great toes, if that's something you could do, or the outer edges of the feet. If you've caught the great toes, and you could take one leg long, and then the other, being playful like a child would be. Go there. Remove the bind and take your legs long, extending them like the shape of a V. Sacrum on the mat as you point and flex the feet. Take a circle with the ankles. And then let's bring the knees together, soles of the feet on the mat, knees are bent still. We're going to take the strap now that you should have close by. If you didn't, just grab it. And take the sole of the strap into the sole of that right foot. We're not going to do a lengthy stretch here so that we can have a nice Shavasana tonight. Pointing and flexing the feet. Let's just take a circle with the ankle. Feeling the long leg bone as you make that circle. Gently bring that right foot out toward the right side of the body with that left knee bent still. See if this feels different than maybe taking your leg long. See if maybe you're able to go a little deeper, or you're able to draw that right foot up toward the right shoulder a little bit more with the left knee bent. Just noticing something different tonight. And if this doesn't work for you, then keeping that left leg long. Let's draw that right foot up toward the ceiling, and then we're just going to take the strap in the left foot. We're not going to cross over on this one. Sole of that right foot on the mat. Left leg is straight up toward the ceiling. We'll point and flex that left foot. Finding our breath. Breathing into any tight spaces or releasing tension with the breath. Circling the ankle. Creating a circle with the sole of the foot. Long leg bone falls into the socket, and you just feel the motion as you make that play with the supported strap. Keeping that right knee bent still, we're going to take that left leg all the way out toward the left side of the body. Or remembering, and we can always bring the right leg long if that doesn't resonate with you, to keep it bent. Just try it either way. See what feels good tonight. Do something different. Opening up, maybe taking that left foot up toward the left shoulder a little bit more. Toes can come back toward the body. And then we'll take that left foot back up, remove the strap. And then let's come into Shavasana of your choice. So remember, tonight you could start off in Viparita Karani with legs up, or taking a block, placing it under the sacrum, bringing the legs up. That way you can get a little bit of work with gravity, letting the fluid, everything kind of travel down toward the lymphatics in this area, and then make your way into Shavasana, or just come right into Shavasana. Settle in on your mat. Find your way. Settling in. You can cover up your body if it feels cold. Remember that option to create a little tension and then relaxation. Finding a good deep inhale in and an exhale out so that you can let the body soften. The mind can now rest at the place where the body touches the earth. Just let the weight of your body sink into this place. Relaxing, rooting, connecting. Inhaling to go deep within. Exhaling to connect the body with the earth. Our reading tonight comes from Bhante Gunarantana. He talks about a deep uncritical love. And it resonated with me today, and I wanted to share it with you tonight. Just focusing on the words as you keep the eyes closed in your Shavasana. Focusing on the breath. You can't make radical changes in the pattern of your life until you begin to see yourself exactly as you are now. As soon as you do that, changes will flow naturally. You don't have to force anything, struggle, or obey rules dictated to you by some authority. It can be automatic. You have the power to change. But arriving at that initial insight is quite a task. You have to see who you are and how you are without illusion or judgment or resistance of any kind. And that can be difficult. You have to see your place in society and your function as a social being. You have to see your duties and obligations to your fellow human beings. And above all, your responsibility to yourself as an individual living with other individuals. And finally, even more, to have to see all of that clearly as a single unit. This whole of this interrelationship. It sounds complex, but it can occur in a single instant. Mental cultivation through meditation is without rival in helping you achieve this sort of understanding and serene happiness. Meditation is intended to purify the mind. It cleanses the thought process of what can be called psychic irritants, things like greed and hatred and jealousy, which keep you snarled up in this emotional bondage. Meditation brings the mind to a state of tranquility and awareness, a state of concentration and insight. Meditation is called the great teacher. It's the cleansing crucible, that fire that works slowly but surely through understanding. The greater your understanding, the more open you are to the possibilities, the more flexible and tolerant and compassionate you can be. You become like a parent or an ideal teacher, ready to forgive and forget. You feel love towards others because you understand them, and you understand others because you've understood yourself. You've looked deeply inside and seen self-illusion and your own human failings. And you see your own humanity and learn to forgive and to love. And when you learn compassion for yourself, compassion for others becomes automatic. An accomplished meditator has achieved a profound understanding of life, and she or he inevitably relates to the world with a deep and uncritical love. What a goal. Bhante Guna Rantana. Peace. Peace to you. Slowly start to make some movement to your fingers and to your toes. We start to wake the body up as we move the hands, the wrists, the legs. Make your way over toward your right or to your left side. Just cradle your head and your arm. Loving kindness to you. deep, uncritical love. And then when you're ready, coming up to a comfortable seat, keeping the eyes closed or the gaze soft, we bring ourselves into this erect and dignified posture. We bring ourselves upright, feeling the body open, the collarbone broaden, the heart open. We'll bring our hands to prayer, or one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly, your choice. If your hands are in prayer, may all beings be free of fear and harm. And may we all be happy just the way that we are. May we be at peace with whatever comes our way. And may we all rest softly in the gentleness of our own hearts. Good deep inhale. And as we exhale, namaste. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for letting me share this practice with you all, guys and girls. Day 10. I'll see you all for day 11 tomorrow. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me. Namaste.